Elliot W. Eisner has impacted the educational society through his devotion and dedication to artistic education. He made an impact through his stance that artistry needs to be incorporated into education. He said, "I do not believe that education as a process, or schooling as an institution designed to foster that process, or teaching as an activity that most directly mediates that process is likely to be controlled by a set of laws that could be transformed into a prescription or recipe for teaching. I do not believe we will ever have a Betty Crocker theory of education. Teaching is an activity that requires artistry, schooling itself as a cultural artifact, and education is a process whose features may differ from individual to individual, context to context. Therefore, what I believe we need to do with respect to educational evaluation is not to seek recipes to control and measure practice, but rather to enhance whatever artistry the teacher can achieve." Eisner presents excellent points here, discussing that teaching differs from individual to individual. Each child is different and there is no recipe for teaching. I agree with Eisner that artistry in education can be beneficial. I do believe that there are many ways to learn new things and grasp new concepts, and I think each child needs specific things in which the teacher can accommodate to. As society is growing and education is such an important part in progressing and accomplishing things, I feel a responsibility to not only create an environment where children are comfortable to learn, but help them realize their potential and let them realize that the broad space in their brains are ready to be filled. Eisner's life held much contribution to his accomplishments and successes. He was born in 1933 and grew up in Chicago. He exemplified a love of art at an early age and continued with the talent throughout his life. He studied at Roosevelt University, Chicago, completed a Master's of Science degree in Art Education at Illinois Institute of Technology, a Master's of Art degree in Education at the University of Chicago, and completed a Ph.D. in Education at the University of Chicago. Eisner then went on to work as a high school art teacher, an instructor at Ohio State University and the University of Chicago. In 1965, he joined the Faculty of Standard, and from 1970 on has worked as a professor of education and art. Eisner contributed to schools in many ways, but three ways were emphasized. One, he suggested moving beyond technology and behavioristic modes of thinking. Two, he warned against educational fads by not just having the basics of education and not just a recipe. And three, he argued that children should learn through experience by using their senses and imagination. He said, "Our field, the field of education, has predicated its practices on a platform of scientifically grounded knowledge, at least as an aspiration. The arts and artistry as sources of improved educational practice are considered at best a fallback position, a court of last resort, something you retreat to when there is no science to provide guidance. It is widely believed that no field seeking professional respectability can depend on such an undependable force." Eisner has written or edited 16 books addressing the arts education topic. He has received many awards, some being a John Simon Guggenheim Fellowship, a Senior Fulbright Fellowship, the Jose Vasconcelos Award from the World Cultural Council, the Harold McGraw Prize in Education, the Brock International Prize in Education, and the Grawemeyer Award in Education from the University of Louisville. In addition, he has received 6 honorary doctorates from institutions around the world. Elliot Eisner promoted great ideas to the education society. He made his point that education and teaching should not be a following of traditions, but rather having it based upon the context that the students need to learn and incorporating artistry into our fields of education. His ideas can benefit all teachers because of the necessity present to connect with each child. I have been affected by Eisner in the way that I want to be able to make a difference to the educational society. Each and every student will benefit from his methods, and hopefully many schools will recognize the greatness of incorporating artful thinking into education. Let us be motivated to make a difference in our teaching and learning environments. To conclude, Eisner states, "The time is ripe for broadening the base from which inquiry and education can go forward."